Eric, welcome back to our Creators Let's Play, and some clever suggestions about how to make this an underwater mine, but we're going to be brute forcing it. I've installed the ladders mod. I feel at this point we are probably safe to just do that. The ladders mod is a fairly safe mod to use, so that's what we're going to do. To do that, we do need to re-enable some access. I'm hoping you can't hear the fan that's running in the hotel room that I'm in. It seems incredibly loud to me, but I'm very sensitive to noise, so it's probably not as loud as it feels. Anyway, let's get ourselves down here, because we need to be able to get back up on top of this thing. The mine is closed at the moment anyway, and I don't think there's anyone in here, so I think we can probably fairly safely... Actually, we can probably fairly safely just grab the delete tool and do this. And that. And that. And that. And then we need to unlock the ladder. We are 31 cycles in and we're just unlocking the ladders mod. Yep. Only because we've only just installed it, but you know, it feels kind of weird. So let's put that there because we can seal the top of the ladder. So, yep. And then we can have this as an underwater mine. So we'll put the impermeable floor on top, and then that lets that be underwater. We then need some double floors. We'll do double floors through there. You're going to be 4x. You're 2x. You're 3x. You are 2x. How do we want to go over the top of the mine? That is a very good question. I am glad that you asked that. Because we also need to go over the top of that, and we need to cover that in. Let's go there. We're going to go to there. We're going to put also along there. You that way. Go you that way, and then we can fill that area in. Yeah, let's do that. So 6x 2. So then out to 3x 2x, and then we just need to fill in those. We could do it that way, couldn't we? Yeah, that'd work. 3x, bunch 2x, 2, 2. And we can then do you, and then many impermeable floors. Like so. Like you. Yep. And then we need to get up on top of this. Let's run a straight path to about there. To there. There and there. And then some of this we are probably going to struggle to build because of access. Because all of that's in the middle. So maybe what we want to do is get to over here, you're the ladders, aren't you? So let's also come around here. And we could use ladders to get up here, couldn't we? But we'll do that, and that, and that, and that, and that, and that. And that should allow them to get in under here, because this should all be connected once that's made. And hopefully they'll be able to build all of that. So with all of that said, once that's all built, that should all get reconnected. Did have the somewhat sensible suggestion if we may want to prioritize diverting some of the initial water to these. And I kind of like that idea. I kind of feel like a way of doing that is just using these guys in very material inefficient. Do we care? No, not really. At this point, we've got lots of logs and planks. And I think what we do is we come here and enable that, and we then set these to be at a height of like 0.1, and that'll just hold a little bit of water here for the pumps. Now there's going to be a while before water even gets through all of this because it's got a lot of work to do. So yeah, and I've just managed to turn off the pump, which is quite nice. So that's cool. And we've got quite a lot of explosives to place down here. But we have quite a lot of explosives. We also now have all of the materials to build our first wonder. And I kind of feel like the first one should be down here near the accommodation. Now I'm guessing we don't want it to be underwater. That's probably bad. I wonder if we build a little dirt plinth for it, which would also have the benefit of reducing the volume of the lake a little bit. Now the wonder is 7 by 7, I think, roughly. So let's just pause for a moment for effect. No, to think. 3. We'll back it up to the houses. So that's 4, 5, 6, 7. So if we filled all of that in, put the wonder on top. No, it's a 7 by 8. Or did I not make that big enough? Put that there. And then you can delete that. You can delete that. We can delete that. We can delete that. We are going to need access to the wonder because the beavers need to deposit the stuff to run it. And they're also going to need to build the base for it. But I think they can build that from this. So we're going to let them get on with that as well. We've got some trees to be cutting down, which one of you did point out. One of the ways that I think we can probably improve the speed of that is by doing that. We could put some more lumberjacks in, but we've got 3,000 trees stacked up, so I'm not overly worried. Over here, we haven't quite managed to finish building this yet, so let's work on that. And our many pumps can pretty much instantly pump out all of the water that this spawns, which I guess is a good thing. So it fills up to about 0.8, instantly gets pumped down, and yeah, so we don't need to build any more pumps. The pumps we have are more than capable of dealing with the flow out of this. So we will get out all of the water that we possibly can. I mean, I guess we could let them pump a bit lower. No, let's edit. No, I want to edit the rules. It's been a long day, folks. It's been a long old day. And pump down to 0.4. And then apply that to all of them. And this should all be sealed up, so we'll pump out as much as we can, and maybe if we have them running continuously, the seeps will produce more water. Yeah, that seems to be running better, actually. So we're getting a constant flow now. They're not stopping and starting. So maybe we can put in a few more pumps. You not now, not required. Yeah, that's running constantly now. With 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 pumps. So, yeah. Maybe we are going to get more water out of here. Just checking that there's nowhere it's going. Because it doesn't seem to be getting deeper much quicker. Oh, it is. It's getting deeper. Yep. Awesome. Cool. This is doing its job. Good stuff. Right, let's head over here. They're building that up. Maybe we prioritize some of the lower level explosives which we can detonate, because we can't detonate that top stuff yet. Because we need to build all of this. We do have a drought approaching already. We have ladders now. We can use an ladder to enable us to build this. I guess, yeah, they can't actually get out to build all of this because I put this the wrong way around, didn't I? So what I want to do is... just slow the game down a moment. I want to put that there. Put that there, and that will let them get out to there to build the rest of that. Yeah. That'll work. That's not going in yet. That's fine. We are 2.7 days and finally just getting water in here. Did say it would take a while. But obviously the water dump has kept this irrigated. These trees are a few days away from sorting out our maple syrup problem, but they're getting there. They're getting there. These guys could be partially botted. So this is now starting to pump water up and fill up. Whether it will fill in the 2.5 days that we've got is a very good question. We could maybe, well, we could maybe make use of some more builders. We don't necessarily need them, but we could use them. So let's put in another one, because I'm not getting to all of the things that I had planned to do. So these are running. Filling this up some more. Will we get it deeper than before? It's a good question again. I don't remember how deep we got it last time, to be entirely honest. We are at least running the pumps at full capacity, so that's a good thing. We've not got to this job yet, but scrap metal supply is good anyway. This is definitely better. So, yep, the 8 pumps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The 7 pumps that we have at the moment. But the more pumps was the right way to go. We could put more pumps here. So I think if we put a power connection there, we could then put another one there. And I don't see a reason not to do that. Yeah. And what we need to do is come up with a use for this water. And I think maybe that's going to be irrigation of this stuff once I've worked out a plan for that. We don't necessarily need this tower now, because the rest of this they can build going that way. So we could take this out. And put in the explosives once we've collected the missing resources. So let's look at doing that at some point. We've got that to do. We've got so much building stacked up. It's kind of a lot. Yep, a lot of stuff is kind of a lot. Wow. That was such an insightful comment, wasn't it? Let's put you there. That super slow bot is going to do that job. I guess they'll get to that pump at some point, but when the game lags, wow. That is so much better. Thank you to whoever it was who pointed out that I needed a lot more pumps. Yep, definitely right, and they seem to have them set right as well. So that's very cool. That is definitely doing its job. Over here, I'm going to reduce the height of these to 1.8 for now, because I don't want to flood the mine. until we get to doing the things we need to do over here. That would be bad. And we have a lot of building backed up. So, yep. Come on. And maybe we should encourage them to get to this stuff. There. And then I guess we need to do something like that. But although this hasn't filled up quickly, because it was late getting water into here, that is very full. That is very close to being over full. We can pump all of this up to do irrigation up here, so that should be okay. This is quite full. Yep, it's definitely fuller than before, which is good. We do a U for you can't believe it's not H for boom. And then we can just put a platform there to give them access if they really want to use that. And we're still pumping a load of water from there. We are letting a little bit out of this end until we can make this deeper. But that's fine. But we are storing quite a bit of water at this point. Over here, this is now so much better. So much better. Yeah. I think before we were down here somewhere, or maybe here. Yeah, that's made a huge difference. We are getting into building this, so we'll let them work on that. We've not got to the wonder yet. I think that's going to take them a little while. I think everything's going to take a little while, actually, as we start a how many day drought? 25-day drought. Not that that's a worry. With everything that we have stored up. So we should be just fine. I guess the things I need to check. So yeah, that closes. So this does end up being sealed. And maybe we'd be smarter at that point to seal across here. It's not significant really, is it, in the grand scheme of things? And the same across here. Seal off these fingers. It's not a significant amount of water. No, I don't think it really matters. So with this, we have here sluices that would not let us completely drain this. And at the moment, they drain the wrong way. So what we would need to do is build up a little bit of dirt, and then they would be able to drain into this area. I mean, we could actually do that and then adjust these and come down at least a level. Because this is currently a level higher than the lake. So let's start to look at that, shall we? So we'll come down the back here. here, and here, and here. And then that gets there, and then we can go here, and here. And we'll use some ladders to get all the way down. In fact, actually, we probably want to come down. Not there, but there. And I was supposed to have rotated that. There. And then we'll use a rather nice curved staircase to there. So let's connect all of that up. And yeah, it would be more efficient to use. Let's there. That gets us all the way down there, and then what we want to do is landscaping through there, and then block that up a little bit, and that would let the water flow through there. And then worst case, we could just use a mechanical pump to lift it up to there, couldn't we? But yeah, more building planned, I know. So they're getting in, building this. That's cool. Good stuff. These guys are filling this up still from this large construction of water or body of water. They're getting all of that placed slowly, and it is slowly. It's going to take a while. I guess if I prioritize some of the missed bits, let's get this done. They're nearly done, actually. Yeah, it's not as bad as I thought. Let's get rid of you and you. We'll let them pick up those bits, and then we'll place the bits of explosive that are missing. I'm kind of pleased with how this has worked out. Yeah, the evaporation's probably awful, but in the grand scheme of things, it'll be fine. It'll be fine. And we've still not got to that. Is someone going to come get this? Be really nice if you would. There we go. We'll get that placed. Most of that's in now. They've not got to that yet, but you know, it's probably not a surprise. We've not got to all of that yet. Again, probably not a surprise. We've got so much building work to do. So this is all starting to go in now, which is cool. We've got a lot of logs just laying about. And it would be nice if they would pick them up. They've got access to maybe they haven't got access to most of them, actually. But as they get stuff built, they will get access to them. They've got access to the mine now if they need it, which is good. So next time we can try and have the mine underwater. I'm going to put back, I know it kind of, this is a bit of suspension of disbelief, but I do want to put back this. It's gonna be 2 meters too far. Haha, it does connect that to that one. Awesome. Right. Is it going to connect to that one? It is a few meters too far. But if we put in an intermediate connection there, right there, and there, and then if we prioritize the build of those, that should speed up getting the resources in, which will be good. That's going to be a while. So the double layer is in now, but we need the double layer to put in the triple layer. They can get to those. They just have other stuff that's a equally high priority. So let's make that even higher priority. There's a lot of logs there that we are not going to get to in 10 days, I don't think, but that's fine. Because we've got 1,300 of them. I thought we were starting to build that, but we are not. If we got somewhere, we can put down a lot of builders' huts. I mean, that's not the worst place. You low priority, medium priority build, 2, 3. That uses up most of the spare bot, and then you beavers. And then, yeah, you can go there and there. Gets us a few more. We've got quite a lot of builders, but more is more gooder. So there, all in. So let's then place the explosives there. And I'm going to just leave it because we'll wait until the next wet season to actually detonate that. All right, that's in. Awesome. So now we can get rid of this. Get rid of this. Get rid of this. And that, and that, and that. We'll let them pick up those bits before I delete that one. The mine should now be connected. Yep. And waterproof. Get rid of you, which means we can now increase these to be 1.9 or 2.9. There we go. Technically it will flood those, and flooding zipline stations is fine. We don't need to worry about that. We can just move that rubble. Oh. Sometimes I hate this game. I don't really. Oh, screw it. Don't care. Don't care. It's 4 planks. What I need to do quickly is check how long I've been recording, because I don't want this to be a super long video. We are okay at the moment, folks. We're just over half an hour, so yeah. Are you think we are now collecting maple syrup from here, so we'll make sure that's prioritized by haulers. We actually have a reasonable amount of maple syrup, which is nice. Over here, have we got it? We are starting to get into over here. That's pretty cool. Does that mean we are starting to build our wonder? We are building the base for it. Excellent. Cool. So that's in. So in theory, we can detonate this. We just need to remember to do that at the start of the next drought. I don't feel there's a lot of benefit in doing it before then. This is going in now, which is also good. So if we put the path out there, let's prioritize picking those up. And then what we want to do is start putting in our gravity batteries. And we want to tell automation to not block ourselves on that jobby. So that's going to sort that out. And we'll get those going in a bit at a time. That's going in, so they should start building the first wonder any moment now. Looks like we could do with more power generation over here. That's okay. Over here, I put the dirt in the wrong way around, as I so often do. So what we want to do is come this way, like so, and then come across here like so, and that should then enable them to build that. And then we want to change this, because at the moment that won't matter, that we can just get water to here. Well, it sort of will, because it will help with some of the irrigation, but yeah. Okay, maybe we do need some more lumberjacks. I'm always thinking that maybe we do like some focused lumberjackage over here. It's a technical term, by the way. Or we just need more lumberjacks. I don't know. We've got plenty of trees. So the wonder is going in. That's going to start eating resources and builders. But that's the point of it. It'll be cool. It'll be cool. And these should start to pause and hopefully recharge power. So that should work out okay, actually. That should start going in at some point. So yeah, I think now it's just a case of getting the first wonder built, which is going to take quite a while. Not just because of getting the resources in, but actually building it takes a while. It uses an awful lot of builders. I can't remember how many building slots it has. One of you did tell me at some point, but it's a lot. And it just takes ages to build. So with how many builders we have, we can kind of leave them to that, I think. And hopefully they will also come and get on with this job. And if so, assuming we get this in, how do we rework this? I mean, we can put sluices here, but we then need it to go this way as well. But not let the water out that we're trying to water dump in. And maybe we don't need water dumps there if we've got water in the other bit. So maybe we just sluice the water in once this is done. We'll have to, yeah. Then we could change, we could get rid of this. We could put a sluice here. Sluice here. And just kind of have a series of sluice gates to make use of it. That would work. That would work, and it would not be an awful idea. So now I'm going to put even more deep mechanical pumps. So they're not getting to that. They're very busy working on this. You can just see, you just have absolutely loads of them going at it. Going at it like beavers, I guess. Yeah, going at it like beavers do. So while they're doing that, these are in. So let's come along here now and put down a few more. 1, 2, 3, and again we'll use the automation tool. And maybe I deprioritize that so that we can get some of these other jobs done. Now I'm assuming that they will still work on this because we have so many builders that I don't expect it will be an issue. So they'll do that, and then we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's going to work out perfectly. So we'll end up with 9 gravity batteries through there. We didn't seem to be short of power this time, but more is more gooder. So, yeah. I think that'll be absolutely great. So we'll delete to there. Grab 2, 3. Grab the chain tool from automation, and that should stop them blocking anyone. And that'll connect straight in to the power. Awesome. And probably now they're coming over here doing this job, which is good. And what we want to do is put in a couple of sluice gates there. We'll have that close above. Yeah, like 0.8 is fine, I think. That'll send water this way. And once we've got that sorted, we'll adjust that. This guy is doing its job. Just about. But we can have this helping as well, which will be excellent. So they can all work as one big happy family. Let's say we might want some mechanical pumps to help take all of this out because of the height difference, but we'll just see how we get on, you know? Once this is in, we'll just see how it goes. Yeah, they should be able to build all of that. And it should hopefully work out in time. They're still cracking on with this pace. They've got way more than 25% of the resources in, so it just takes some time to do the building. And our resources are holding up okay as well. So probably we'll find our emergency or our bonus builders have kicked in. Which is good. This has all been built now without any problems. And over here, this is almost in. So I think once we've got one set done, we should be okay with how we've got the sluices set up. So let's prioritize those. And then we can try and get this going. It's a bit of a trek for them with dirt, I guess, because the nearest zipway is quite a journey. But, you know, they're getting there. They're getting there. There we go. So we just need one more. So then what we want to do is have you be close above. Yeah, 0.6 is probably fine. So we don't need the contamination one anymore, because there shouldn't be any contamination. If they just come and build this, I'm not asking much, you know? I'm not asking much. We can add this to the supply. There we go. Right. So if we change that now to close above 0.6, you're close above 0.85. You'll bring water through to here. We'll get rid of you. We'll get rid of you. And maybe what we want to do instead is have some sluices here, just so that water doesn't go back the other way, and you'll just be on an open. I guess actually what we want is those to also be on a something like that. I know the other ones are at 0.15, but and this is going to let out a whole load of this water, but it's going to a good cause. It's going to a good cause. Auto. So they should now be closed. And that should add to the irrigation of this until we run out of water. Make you a bit lower, 0.4. And you're probably a bit high as well. You could probably be 0.4. Yeah. So we'll let that do its thing. This might empty out really quick. I don't know. I kind of don't care. It's all helping feed the central lake. The purpose being keeping this looking cool. That's kind of all its job is. This is nice and full now. There's still some water in here, and we're 10 plus days into the drought. So, and this lasted quite a while just on its own. So I think we're in a pretty good position here. Yeah. So this is pretty much sorted now. This works. I'm happy with this system. We could improve it a little bit. I guess what we would need to do is step 1 of many. So we'd want to, if we do it for just this one, so that's there. So if we blast out there, and through to, say, there. Or even there. Because we could then create a spot for lifting the water into. Let's run you along there, run you there. And then we have more sluices there, which are just set to open. I'm going to use levees for this just in case I change my mind about how I build it. We then use platforms so we can get above the outflow of the sluices. Right, U for you can't believe it's not H for boom. Should be able to build most of that. We then do deep mechanical fluid pump. Because we've lifted that up, we will need a stream gauge there. And we will need to run power from this. So I guess the way to do that is maybe to replace that with vertical power. And the nice thing is that this should only be running when these aren't running. So, you know, that's a plus. I think they can get to build all of that. They should be able to get to build all of that. We might not get all of this built today because I need to stop soon because I'm tired because it's been a long day. Probably said that at least once in this video already, for which I apologize. And then we'll run that up there to there. One of these might not be enough. We have seen that one deep mechanical pump is not necessarily enough for providing irrigation for this area, but this is in addition to what we have over here. So, you know, and we could always repeat, you know, we could adjust this so we get this one in as well, but, or we could do it here and have it flow into this bit as well. There are many ways to dissect this problem. For now, I'm going to say we're done for today, folks, because I need to go get some sleep. We have 11 days left in this drought. Everything's looking pretty good. The wonder is almost wonderful. We should get that finished. They've got all the resources in. We are rebuilding our stockpile of resources so that we can build the second wonder. We've got 10 days left, and so far we're doing pretty good at keeping this irrigated. It's still at 1.15. We have yet to utilize the pumps. So that's cool. So this is obviously helping. And if we can get this all built, we'll be able to add more to it. So yeah. Anyway, we are, I think, rapidly approaching the end of this series. I would like to get the other 2 wonders built. There's some more well-being stuff that we need to do, which I think we can do now we've got this power grid much more sorted. And I think that's going to be it. There's maybe a bit of tweaking of this once it's in, but we're nearly there with this. I'm happy with the mine now. I'm happy with our irrigation over here. That's all working. Maple syrup's going up quite nicely. This is not getting to silly levels, so it seems like the prioritization is working. We could maybe do with another tapper shack over here, but we've got a decent supply of maple syrup. Food is good enough. If we just do a quick look, everyone's got all the food that they need. There's just some bits of well-being we could improve. So I think we maybe have a look at that in the next video or so. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with where we are. I am pretty happy with where we are. The map looks pretty green for the most part. In the places we can make it green easily, or not easily, but the places it is practical for us to make it green considering what we're trying to achieve. Yeah, anyway, thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you all next time.